one of the most robust economies out there in the world. So let's get more on this changing picture. Denis Pennel is the Managing Director of SIET. This is the International Confederation of Private Employment Agencies, and he joins us now in our London studio. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on, Denis. You look at those kind of figures there. We've got Greece, Spain, almost off the chart, if you like, and Germany going in completely the opposite direction. What do you think it's due to?
Well, I think this is a very good point. And we can see the widening disparities between countries within the Eurozone and within Europe. And indeed, on the one hand, Germany, Austria, Netherlands also having rather low unemployment rates compared to Greece, Portugal, and Spain with a high level. And this is mainly due to two main reasons, I would say. The first one is economic growth. And of course, we know in Germany, they have a strong, economy doing well, and growth is the best driver for job creation. But on the other hand, you also need...
It's doing that well, though. It's skirting a recession. It's doing much better than the rest of the Eurozone, but it's way off its heyday. How have they managed to shield themselves from the kind of problems that everybody else is facing?
Because I think a couple of years ago, about a decade ago, they took some very brave reforms in order to improve the functioning of the labour market. And this is what is called the Hartz reforms, called on the name of the Ministry of Labour at that time. And they really changed the way the labour market was organised, opening up the market for temporary agency work to develop, creating, extra work opportunities for people.
Now, this is where people like you come in, from the temporary work side of things, the recruitment agencies. About 46 million people used services of recruitment agencies over the last year and were helped to find jobs. But those jobs aren't permanent. And that is what the people in Greece are protesting about today. They're losing their permanent jobs.
Yeah, but you should not look at the picture, but at the movie. Today, if you are young people without much work experience or education, temporary agency work is your stepping stone to the labour market. This is how you can enter the labour market. And you will do some temping for maybe, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. But after this period of time, you will get to a permanent job. And we have some statistics showing that, on average, 1/3 of agency workers, temporary agency workers, get a permanent contract within a year.
1/3?
Yeah.
But how many of those temporary people actually get on the job ladder, if you like? Or is it might just be temporary work, but how much of it is just getting on the job ladder for a sustainable future? Because this is the problem. These economies aren't sustainable because people can't actually find work that will pay them enough to live there.
Yeah, but again, do not look at the picture, but look at the movie. I said after 1 year, 1/3. Then if you look after 2 years, it's probably 2/3. And then if you look after 5 years, most of these people will have a permanent contract. So again, you should see this as a stepping stone, a way to enter the labour market, to gain work experience, and then indeed to get to move towards a more permanent job.
Well, undoubtedly, places like Greece and Spain will obviously be new markets for recruitment and temporary agencies, as of course we're hearing the public sector retrench here, people having to move towards temporary jobs, especially in the private sector. Does that raise an opportunity, and how can recruitment agencies that you represent actually help countries like Greece and Spain? What can you do?
Well, to be honest, in Greece we can do very little. Why so? Because as an industry we are still very regulated, too strictly regulated in Greece. And when we speak about temporary contracts in Greece, this is actually more about fixed-term contracts, direct fixed-term contracts. So companies hiring people on a temporary basis, but directly, not using the services or private employment services. And therefore, we as an industry, we can only play a very little role in helping people to move from unemployment to work, because again, we are too much strictly regulated there.
Ever so briefly, if I may, when do you think things are going to get better? The OECD says not before at least 2015, 2014.
Yeah, I would not bet anything on that one, but I don't think we should expect, indeed, a significant growth to occur within the next couple of months. And this is why we need to look at how to create jobs in a zero-growth environment. And this is, for me, the real issue.
Denis Pennel there from the SIET, which represents the recruitment agencies and private employment agencies. Thank you so much for coming on World Business today. Great to get